I'm Yildiz. I'm an AI artist from Germany, from exactly from Cologne, um, and I'm specialized working with artificial intelligence, creative coding, and also I'm a teacher at a university in Germany. Um, Teaching digital design and creative coding, um, augmented reality and virtual reality. Okay, I started, let me say, the pandemic was a reason for starting with AI because I had so much time. And before I started with I worked a lot with other creative coding processes and methods like processing and um, I think, yeah, tools like Touch Designer. So I always was interested in working with algorithms, but the aesthetic wasn't, it was too simple. It was more like 2D art or early polygon art. So I tried to find something else, and in the pandemic, I had a lot of time. And while I was working in the post production as a color grader, um, and there were no jobs, I tried to find something else, and I knew there is something, and then I found artists like Refik Anadol, Memo Atkin, who are working, or the first persons who are working with AI, and not in a technical way. I think I liked it a lot because it was really art. And I'm a person, when I find something that I like, I'm really into, I have to find out how it works. And that is the thing why I got into AI, because it's more like generative art. It's really impressive, and you can get so much of it, and that was the reason. AI is still a tool. I think there's AI is just a name that we gave it. Um, I think for promotion, because you have not a real AI right now. It's more like machine learning. It's just a tool. The main part of this whole thing, the kick, and the start that something is coming as an output, is still the human behind it. I know there's right now a little bit of a discussion, and people are angry and scared, mostly from, I think, the 3D art or digital art um, industry and scene. And I think it's because AI got so well done and so precisely in the output that you're writing right now, like with models. When we get right now, it's stable diffusion. Stable diffusion is so impressive, um, and works so well, but I can understand it that some people are scared because stable diffusion was trained on those artworks, on contemporary artists, and I think that people shouldn't scared. They should see it as a tool, because when I want to copy someone, I can copy someone, even if with 3D or with AI. It doesn't matter. At the end, it's my decision and my creativity that decides it. And I think we should see it as a tool that gets or let us know much more about our creativity, our fantasy, how we imagine things. Because um, I think we get with AI results that we wouldn't think of in the first place. And that's why I think AI should be seen as a tool that will help us and expand our imagination, and not something we should be scared of. Okay, I'm a digital artist, but my inspiration I got from like any other artist or any other human um, with knowledge and interest into art or into many kind of things. I studied design and computer science, and when I go back to the history of both worlds, um, there's so much to explore, and it's not only about looking back. It's a pool for me to find small pieces of it and to combine it, and that is what is my inspiration. And sometimes also what inspires me is the possibility I get when I work with AI to do things that I'm not thinking on the first sight, because sometimes it's so random, but in a good way, that I accept it. So I start to learn to accept sometimes this randomness and not this perfect, precise results. And this gives me a lot of inspiration, like when I'm doing experiments with different AI models and I get inspired by this machine and the combination of the things I'm trying to create. So I'm sometimes learning with the machine together, or she's a tool for me to help to learn and to get my inspiration. Or sometimes, let me say, simple, the AI sometimes gives me the inspiration just by the results she creates. Before I worked on many different things. First, I was a DJ, a visual jockey on many events, mostly for electronic music. I created visuals with many kind of different tools. I used After Effects, processing, touch designer to create generative visuals that sometimes react on the audio of the party, or sometimes with the motion of the people when they're dancing. And then I also was a color grader, a digital colorist for many productions, because I really, it was a part of my career where I really was interested into this part of film. And then I started to I went to UX design and worked on some projects as a freelancer. And yeah, then the pandemic came and everything changed, and I was at home and thought, how could I make something new or create something new? And then I drifted into a new movement, a new kind of job. When I'm working like for a music video or working with artists together, music artists, and to create visuals, I always think about the mood of the music, of the rhythm, the beat, and sometimes I listen to the lyrics and or the generally vibe that this artist creates on events, on techno parties, as example where the music has no lyrics and it's sometimes very fast or slow, and I react on what kind of people go to this party, what kind of music, of electronic music plays this artist, and I'm thinking of a mood. I imagine myself a world and trying to express myself with this music, how I get this music, and how I imagine this music would look like. And I think it's more about feeling it and trying to create a mood. Many different kind of music. I listen a lot to electronic music, but I'm also very interested into experimental stuff and sometimes alternative. I really love a few artists. I'm a huge fan of Daft Punk, and also when it's about I need something that is more going to pop, it's Blood Orange. So it's very difficult. It's a huge range of genres I like, but I think this is something that it's good because I'm very open to many things, and I think that is why my art that I created or my work that I created has his own style. Every artwork has its own style, and that I'm trying to achieve. As an artist, I have to please myself. I have to be happy with the artwork. If I'm not happy with the artwork, I don't really care. I want to publish it. Because I'm also working a lot with a good friend of mine from Italy that I created a lot of works, commissioned works, and NFT artworks, and we're trying to communicate a lot about this. But at the end, when it's about our real artworks and not commissioned works, because commissioned works I have to please the customer. Sometimes it's hard because AI is really random and you have to tame the untamable. But you really always get into a compromise, and it works out. But when it's about my own artworks, I'm really picky. I'm really picky, and I have to feel it. I have to feel it that it's beautiful enough for myself that I would really like it a lot, because where I don't want to hang it in my own home, I want to publish it. And that's something I think that many artists have, this kind of feeling. I don't really see myself as a motion designer, when I'm honest, because I'm something between both worlds. Because I'm doing a lot of science stuff with AI, because I'm experimenting a lot, but I'm also trying to create new visual aesthetics and new workflows for motion. And I think this is the motion designer part of mine, but I think I'm something between those two worlds, between art and science, and I think I have to. That's what's really carrying me. Yeah, I'm a teacher at a university, and I almost have classes with the second semesters and second year and above, and I'm almost doing different things. When they started with the university and they come to our university, and I get it. So they're young and they don't know nothing. I'm doing a lot of lecturing about digital art, digital design. I'm telling them about what is going on right now in this world. So not only the history, because for me, it's really important that my students get to know what is state of the art. And what I'm doing right now, since I started a year ago, is I'm teaching AI as a art class. So my students have to work on art projects with AI. They have to get the workflow behind it to think differently, and not like you usually think as a art or as a design student, because you can't really control what's coming out at the end, and you just can give the AI a direction, not a total end result. And sometimes they struggle because it's so differently to think, because you have to think, like Apple says, think different. But that is what I'm teaching, and it's really impressive sometimes how they working with AI, because they always tell me sometimes they get frustrated because it's not coming out what they expected, and sometimes they're really surprised with which simple methods it takes to create something beautiful. So this is what I'm teaching. So I'm it's almost creative coding, AI. I want to specialize with AI because because many universities are doing creative coding and then doing almost processing or other algorithm-based generative methods. But I think to do something with AI is right now in our area in Germany very unique. I have not so many experience with NFT because when sure, I did some NFT artworks on Foundation, but I think it's right now the hype is gone. When the hype was really high and everyone was trading NFTs, and it's so unique, and it was like you couldn't get on the first side account on those platforms like Foundation or Super Rare. There was a mystery behind it, and everyone wants to get insulted into that. But right now, I think it got filtered by himself because of the community. Right now, we don't have not so many people that only want to make money of it because of the whole cryptocurrency thing. I think now we have a lot of real artists or people that are trying to create real digital art or artworks to publish artworks that has real meaning. And for me, this is something that is a thing that NFTs should be. There should be not only beautiful glossy pictures that are created with AI, 3D, or anything else as an NFT. There should be really artworks that have a meaning or emotion for the artist itself, and I think this is for me the definition that NFT should be. my own experience, I've exhibited at the Biennale in Venice, on the Pavilion for digital artworks for NFTs, and it was cool because I thought, oh wow, when NFTs get a pavilion always for themselves, I think this should be or would be a good start, to get something like sympathy for this kind of artwork. But I think those NFT artworks, like those crypto apes, or crypto punks, are not the right way to create to be a standard for NFT or a good representation, because this is for me something like money laundering, and I don't see real art into that. It's something for me like collecting baseball cards. So I think for me NFT is, or NFT art, or the whole movement, the industry behind it, should be more about creating art pieces that are unique because the artist put so much work behind it. Because every artwork that I create as NFT right now is recorded and generated with AI, with material that me and my partner Alberto, we are recorded by ourselves. We created with AI by ourselves, and there's nothing that comes from the other side. And I think this should be, because this shows how much work we are put into our artwork, and not just using a prompt and create just a picture and put it into a portal like Foundation or something. And I think this should be that, for my opinion, the standard of every NFT artist. Yeah. For me, one important project was one of my first projects. It was where I firstly met one of my friends that I really work a lot of, from Italy, Alberto Maria Colombo, and it was a Vogue Italia video we created because it's a pandemic. It was 2020. Everyone was on lockdown. He was in New York. He asked me, "Hey, I saw your work on Instagram, your experiments. Do you want to create with me a work for Vogue Italia?" And then we started to brainstorming how we can do that, and like kind of work can we create. And then he was shooting a fashion video, I think at the Central Park or in the forest. I have no idea, but he told me he can't even could rent a camera. He has to use iPhone and a gimbal, so because of the lockdown. And so the shooting was very difficult, and he gave it to me, the material, and said, "Do your magic, do what you think it's right, experiment, play with it. I will edit it, and then we will send it to Vogue Italia." And this was the first video that I tried with the AI model style transfer, where you put a style of any artist and put it into a video, so the video gets the style of the artist you gave it to him. And then I found this model that was trained on artists from different kind of impressionist artists, like Van Gogh, Monet, Kandinsky. And this was very interesting because it was my first work, my first commissioned work um, for a magazine, something like Vogue Italia. I didn't even realize it afterwards when I finished the video that it was, wow, I did something for Vogue Italia, and because I was at the lockdown, I was always at home, and this was the very first project where I used many different kind of AI models, a model to segmentate the person, a model to stylize the video, and it was funny because it was my first real work with AI, and then I imagined, wow, I could imagine to do that for a living, and this project when it came out and was released. This was a kick-off because every other client telling us, yeah, we want it like Vogue Italia, we want like this video, and it's funny. It started with this project, and then a friendship happened with me and Alberto. We did a lot of other works with different clients, and then today I'm here doing a talk. It's really nice because this project was my kick off in the AI art industry, and I think maybe this was the first AI project in the fashion industry. It got. I think it's easy. I think I would be, because I studied computer science, so I think I would be a programmer because I always was interested into that. Maybe I would do something with websites or not even website design. I think website programming. Because I was always interested in algorithms, but the art part behind it was so strong that I decided to go into the way of an artist. But I think if I wouldn't do that, I would do I think the work of a programmer. First, I want to thank Cook for the opportunity to be here, and I think motion plus design it's a good way to show people what motion design is, because many people doesn't know it. When I tell I'm a motion designer or I'm doing motion design, they always question what it is. When I say I'm doing the animation, they, oh yeah, you animate, yeah. And I think it's a cool thing educationally and for the industry to come together. And I'm really happy to be here because I've put myself, so when I saw the timetable and who is doing the talks, and then my name is into that, and I thought, what I'm doing here, because me as an AI artist, I'm really in the beginning of everything, and I think this is like when 3D was coming out, or the free works with 3D art or CGI art were started. That's now AI is right now, and I'm really happy to be here and to show the people what AI art can do for motion.